President Bashar al-Assad performs al-Adha Eid prayer at al-Nu'man bin Bashir Mosque in Damascus. And Syrian military armed forces achieve new victories in combating terrorism. And the Iraqi Army presses ahead in liberating al-Mosul city completely from the ISIL terrorist organization. Good afternoon, this is news in English from the Syrian National Television in Damascus. President Bashar al-Assad performed the prayers of al-Adha Eid at the mosque of al-Nu'man bin Bashir in Damascus. His Excellency, accompanied by high-ranking state and party officials, some members of the People's Assembly, the Minister of Religious Endowment, and crowds of citizens performed the prayers behind Sheikh Adnan al-Afyuni, the Mufti of Damascus and its countryside.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim, غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله عباد الله أوصيكم.
Sheikh al-Afyuni gave the Eid sermon in which he stressed that Syria is facing great challenges, the most dangerous of which are terrorism, destruction and explosions that come out of dark extremist ideologies. He pointed out that the Syrians are committed to the hope that Syria will emerge victorious from the crisis due to its trust in its army, leadership and people, who will resist the killing, destruction and the mentality hand in hand with the religious scholars and preachers. Syrian Army units and the armed forces targeted terrorist gatherings, eliminating a number of them and injuring others in al-Adha and 15 other towns in Aleppo countryside. The Syrian Army units destroyed armed vehicles along with several other vehicles loaded with arms and terrorists inside al-Layramoun, al-Mansura and other villages in that area. going to Lattakia countryside, where a military source said that an army unit targeted a hideout for terrorists in Salma village. The source added that the army units also destroyed 4 terrorist cars equipped with heavy machine guns in other villages in Lattakia countryside. In Hama, Syrian Arab army units destroyed a truck loaded with weapons and eliminated a number of terrorists in the west-east of Souran in the governorate's countryside. The terrorist organization of the Islamic State of Iraq and the Sham adopted the hanging of the British hostage Alan Henning, who is a relief worker. In a videotape transmitted on the internet, the terrorist organization said that killing Henning was in retaliation for the British air raids that targeted its positions in Iraq. The terrorist organization also threatened to hang an American hostage called Peter Cassage. British Prime Minister David Cameron said that the brutal killing of Henning shows the savagery of this terrorist organization. The United Nations Security Council denounced Henning's murder, stressing that the crimes reflects Daesh's brutal nature. The United Nations Security Council severely denounced the 2 terrorist explosions that targeted schools gathering in Akrima neighborhood in Homs, which resulted in the killing of more than 50 people and the wounding of scores others, most of them children. In a press statement, members of the Council said that targeting schools and children constitutes a blatant violation of international humanitarian law. Russia criticized the American airstrikes launched into Syrian territories without United Nations Security Council mandate or the agreement of the Syrian government. Russia's permanent representative at the United Nations, Vitaly Churkin, said that Washington informed Damascus of the airstrikes a few hours before launching them and promised not to attack government positions. But it would be strange for Damascus to completely trust such promises. Iraqi forces, in cooperation with the locals and tribes' sons, restored control over Zemar district to the west of al-Mosul city and other several parts in Nainawa Valley. The Iraqi Army asserted its progress towards Sinjar Rabia axis in order to liberate al-Mosul city from ISIS terrorist organization. Syrian children performed the rituals of the pilgrimage in a symbolic way in a kindergarten in Damascus countryside, despite the deprivation of Syrian people from performing pilgrimage this year by the ruling of the Saud family. More in the following.
Despite the fact that the Syrian people are deprived of performing the pilgrimage by the princes of oil represented by the Wahhabi kingdom of al-Saud, the Syrian children performed the pilgrimage rituals in a symbolic way in a kindergarten in al-Assad suburb in Damascus countryside.
As the Saudi Arabia prevent us as a Syrian from going to the Hajj of the house and prevent us from the 5th pillar of Islam as a right for us as Islamic and Syrians, and we used to see the hope, the smile and everywhere. So and we used to make a smile on our kids' face. That's why we make this symbolize the Kaaba, and we make all the steps to the house of the Hajj, and this is our target, which is to make the kids know the al-Adha.
The children roamed around the design of al-Kaaba and performed prayers, shouting, the innocent message of Syrian children will arrive to the whole world, saying that despite the catastrophes and the explosions committed by the armed terrorist groups, who are supported by some Western states and the princes of oil, Syrian children are determined to live their life normally, taking pride in their homeland.
With this, we come to the end of our news for today. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy. Stay with us, the latest in the world of economy and finance in our economic news, but after the break.